Javonte Williams.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
They run with a former Bengal. It's Samaje Perine.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
You talk about this Washington defense.
They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
But not many guys who can blow up plays like Chase Young. He did it again there.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
On 2nd down, Perine.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Wilson.
Well, he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
Now 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
At their own 18.
Faking the handoff. Howell. And that's going to be incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
2nd and 10. Howell, another throw on 2nd down.
And his throw here is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. K.J. Hamler deep for the Broncos.
And taken right at the 35. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You talk about this Washington defense.
They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 13.
They go play action now. Wilson. Escape. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back.
Gets hit, and he fumbles it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready, and above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's what we were hoping to see out of Williams last season before a torn ACL 4 weeks in. Ruined expectations that he could join the top tier of NFL running backs. That type of upside remains, though, and Denver certainly prepared to help him unlock it as he returns to full strength.
This will be caught at about the 6. Touchdown! Courtland Sutton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Now a 2nd and 10. Powell, he'll look to throw it. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Wilson wants a different look. Wilson off the play fake. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's to the rookie, Marvin Mims. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos add 6 to their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in early going.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
I'd rather be competitive. I'd rather continue to make these billions. I'd rather talk about me. I'd rather be America's team than have to blow this up to try and win a championship. So he's saying where he is, where we can win 12 games, win 11 games, get into the playoffs. It's better to him than blowing this thing up and being a below 500 team. And if that's it, I guess I got to rock with it.
No, real quick. You're taking the Cowboys?
Yes.
RC, are you taking the Cowboys still?
Yes.
I'm taking the Giants. Now you
Taking the road. Taking the
I
road.
got to get ready to go on the road. I just
Turner, y'all, come on, bro.
started the show all sleepy and red-eyed, but he gave a lot of wait till the show progresses.
Would you
Show
let
the
this man
professional.
live?
Show the why don't you stop eating? Stop eating. Okay, stop.
Support my kid, man. Let me support my kid. Following posters is a collection of sentences talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be convenient, informative. The opinions expressed on this WK2 rarely reflect the beliefs of the opinions, therefore, or the ESPN. There may be some touch words that get into real-world talk. If you are young, please take permission before watching any further.
Some strong running. Inside the 40 before being dropped.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very grateful. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pay. Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. We are live at the Quad here in Alabama. It's beautiful Sunday, September 2020. This one football is happening in abundance here in Alabama. And I will say this, we thought there was a chance 0 people would show up. There's about 100 or 200 kids skipping class. And all I know is that when I go, oh, yeah. It is an honor to be here. Obviously, we have an NFL game, an actual one to react to from last night when the brand new Lions became the only undefeated team in the NFL as they stormed into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs last night. No Travis Kelce, the number 1 weapon on offense. No Chris Jones, the number 1 defenser. Defenser. When he does the defense, he's defensing the hell out of it. Absolutely. On the other side, but who cares? Motor City Dan Campbell has turned that team into a team that expects to win in those types of games. In the last 2 wins they've had, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay in his last game, and now Patrick Mahomes on banner night in Kansas City. I don't know what they're drinking in Detroit. Probably a little bit of battle, a little bit of rust, a little bit of grit, a little bit of toughness, a little bit of magic. What MCDC has done to that place and culture is nothing short of admirable. Last night it felt like the Detroit Lions should win that game. When I picked Kansas City Chiefs minus 4.5, I strictly did that because Patrick Mahomes on the quarterback series was so cool. I just thought to myself, I'm never betting against this guy who drinks Coors Lights and mother people and talks mad shit all the time. But then last night you start looking at the roster. You start looking at the way the teams play. The Detroit Lions beating the Chiefs last night was not an anomaly. It was not a miracle. This is the brand new Lions, and we're in a brand new NFL season, and we are so incredibly thankful that you are joining us here on this beautiful Friday. I'm here with a great crew of people. Obviously, the toxic table is here at Boston Connor and at Chaz Smith. Hell yeah! Go! One half of the Hammer Done! Cowboys Tony Diggs is here, and obviously the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a COVID survivor, a father of 10, and today he will be a man who will be attempting a basketball shot for 4 kids to potentially get a year-long tuition. Let's just dive right into the game last night before we start talking about how sick it is to be in Tuscaloosa. The Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs by 1 last night. Juwan Taylor of the Kansas City Chiefs was cheating the whole night. The refs didn't call it until the last series when it really mattered. Shout out to the NFL refs doing what NFL refs seemingly have always done. What was your big takeaway last night about the Lions and the Chiefs? People were saying, I was like, get up. You worried about Chiefs and Chiefs? Whoa. They didn't have Travis Kelce, they didn't have Chris Jones. Chris Jones sitting in the suite in the stadium. That's uncomfortable. That's awkward. Maybe that'll speed up a deal, but are you worried about the Chiefs? And what do you think about the Lions?
No, I am not worried about the Chiefs. It's tough to repeat. We all know that. But I'm more impressed with Aiden Hutchinson and what he was able to do. He wrecked shop, even if he's not on the ground. The amount of pressure he's able to apply. He had 3 different people. I was foolish. So his dad was Mike. His parents were mic'd up if anyone saw that, right?
That's crazy. That was so crazy. That's the first time I got that tip. Ammunition.
But also at the same time, who's picking and choosing? Who's editing that footage?
Well,
Who's editing
it's
that
not
play?
it's live, but also my big thing is, I'm sure Hutch doesn't want his mom and dad mic'd up on every night. They missed the flyover as well. I don't want to start judging people. They had an alien spacecraft flying over that thing. And then boom, a UFO flies over. Yep. They missed it. So there's a couple things that least you did wrong, but other than that, I thought it was a great display, great game, great way to start the NFL season.
Yeah, it wasn't the scoring that we thought maybe potentially. The over-under 52.5, it went way under, and Goff came out and he actually outperformed Patrick Mahomes last night in my eyes, which was the most surprising thing to me.
Yeah, well, Goff has looked good. Second half of the season last year, remember we had this Hembo stats yesterday. They outscored the entire NFL for the last 8 games at 29.7 points per game or something like that. This Lions team, we got to think about this. And it's hard to do. You know, because you got to talk to these beautiful people that came out here and out about it.
Sure.
It's starting to fill up. Nick Saban will be joining us live here on studio at 1 o'clock local, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when we're live on YouTube and ESPN Plus. I assume it's going to get a little rowdy when he's sitting down here. I can't wait to chat to that guy. Massive announcement out of him. But if you look at all these people, you know, didn't pay attention maybe, the people that didn't pay attention to the last half of last year, and say, what do you think about the Lions? They would have the same thought that everybody else said. Oh, the Lions suck. It works. The Lions stink at football. The Lions are in that organization. Great catch. I'm on it. Go. Whenever you start thinking about the Lions and the turnaround, you just have to get incredibly pumped for their fan base that has sat through years, decades of curses. You know, remember, they took Calvin Johnson's money and said, give it to us.
Yeah, I want that back.
$1.4 million, that's ours. And then you hear about that and you start thinking to yourself, is that the way a winning program operates with a Hall of Famer? Then you think about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford got to the point where he was like, you know, I have to win a game. I have to win a game at some point. Get me out of Detroit. And Detroit fans just continue to show up. Continue to cheer on this Lions team. We have one. Evan Fox is currently in a box truck right over there, cutting the baby Fox. Let's go, boys! I've been seeing that neck back there, and all the ESPN people are looking over their shoulder to make sure that they're punching the buttons right and everything like that. But Foxy, you Lions fans deserve this moment. You Lions fans have so much. Oh yeah. The fact that you are now in a position where last night is expected has to be absolutely glorious.
It makes no sense. When I'm watching this game last night, 2 minutes left, Patrick Mahomes has the ball. I said, I've seen this movie a million times in my life. The Lions are going to lose. My heart's getting ripped out. But no. This ain't the same old Lions. This is the brand new Lions. And we finished that game off, and we beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. I cannot believe it. It's one of the greatest times to be a Lions fan ever.
No, just one game. Just one game. Slow down. Oh my God.
You gotta understand, one game's a big deal when you're a Lions fan.
Wait, well, that's not the plan it was. So that's the thing. We now have 16 more games.
Yep.
Okay, are the Lions going to be able to do this? I think so. Because I put this tweet out last night. They're actually a group of sophisticated people. Straight from the top to the bottom. Motor City Dan Campbell and what he's put in there is a toughness. I think a Moxie too. They run a fake punt on their own 17-yard line on opening night. Foxy called it in the morning. I'm like, Foxy, bad teams have to do desperate things. The Lions are a good team. They're not going to have to do desperate things. He goes, Motor City Dan Campbell's aggressive. Motor City Dan Campbell is aggressive. Fake punt early in that game. He goes, can they sustain this? Is this a time where we think the Lions are actually good? I'm buying in. I believe it completely. And I'm excited for the Lions for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, and they asked Dan Campbell after the game, hey, what did you learn about your team? And what did he say? I don't learn shit, man. This is who we are. We're a resilient, gritty bunch, and we got the guys who can go win. And I think they do. I mean, I think on the flip side, you have to really wonder. I know it's just one game, but even without Kelsey, is this the same Chiefs team?
Whoa!
Is it?
Whoa!
Those receivers. I mean,
We've done this before.
we have.
Whoa!
We have.
One
It is
game,
one
right?
game, but boy, they did not look good. And typically, you're just, whatever. It doesn't matter who's out there. Mahomes is going to figure it out, and they're going to win. And that wasn't the case last night.
To your point, as a Tony, I normally have the worst night, but I was glad last night at a different tone. He had a worse night. He kind of stunk last night.
Yeah,
he's bad.
That's the thing about Kadarius Toney. Whenever he was traded from the Giants to the Kansas City Chiefs, we all said, of course, Andy Reid gets another Tyreek Hill. Toney coming out of Florida was actually said, this is the next Tyreek Hill. He ends up at the Giants and ends up not working out. He goes to the Chiefs last year, all of a sudden he's healthy, and he makes an instant impact on a Super Bowl run, including in the Super Bowl. But some Alabama just screamed it right now. He's a bum. That's what everybody's saying about this guy on the internet. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that. No, I think he had a terrible night. I think it's going to be a wake-up call. Guys who have a lot of this type of swagger and moxie in my eyes, whenever they have a bad game, normally he deleted his X account already.
Yep.
He deleted his Instagram. He had a Super Bowl ring. He's chirping a little bit on social media. Talking about the Giants fans with his incredible grill. I think this will wake up. I think he's back. Patrick Mahomes said after the game, he said, I have not lost trust. I have not lost faith. He has another game or two like that, though. Old Afro Mohawk Patrick Mahomes is going to be turning that thing elsewhere. Tony knows that. Yeah, some guys
but where else does Patrick have to look? We know they have other weapons, especially without Kelsey. Kelsey in the lineup, though. He needs Kadarius Toney. He absolutely knows that, though. So of course you're going to pump him up. But I think Kadarius will be fine.
I think so, for sure. And Travis Kelsey, I don't want to say like, well, it's tough.
What are you trying to get to?
All the time. I know I wear.
Yep, sure.
I know me, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, and Kanye West, who can't ride boats in Venice.
No, his cheeks were out everywhere. One company.
We dropped that call. Okay? So I get that I'm an idiot. But boy, whenever I have a strong sense about something, I think we should think about thinking about it. Okay? Travis Kelsey not playing last night was almost the easiest tell of all time. As soon as we heard about a hyperextension bone bruise on a Tuesday, 2 days before the game, first game of the season, I assume Andy Reid knew that was going to be the case, and Bell did his thing. But with 2 minutes left, like Foxy was mentioning, there's one human missing from that field that we are used to seeing. Him getting back is going to be crucial. I know they got 10 days until the next game. Bone bruises are a pain in the ass. They are not easy to heal either because it's literally something happens. So you just got to hope it is. It's a pain tolerance thing. Is he back for next week? How about Chris Jones? Chris Jones is in the building watching the game, losing $1 million while he's doing it, with his agents, the Katz brothers, are sitting on either side of him. And I know the Katz brothers, they're good people. I think the optics last night were horrendous. I think that was a bad play. I appreciate the Chiefs saying, yeah, we won them in the building. I appreciate Chris Jones saying, I helped earn that Super Bowl banner. I want to be there to celebrate it. But what it looked like was like, hey, here's a guy that could be playing with his team, and he's not playing with his team. I think out of sight, out of mind is a lot better there. But maybe because he was on campus, he was able to shake some hands and get a deal done. I think they need him back, but I don't think they need him back as bad as Shannon Sharp was saying. They think that they need him back. No, I thought their defense did okay without Chris Jones. I don't think it was a good night for Chris Jones at all. And does this mean they're going to move on from Chris Jones? No. Does this mean that they're not better with Chris Jones? No. I think they will be better, but maybe it was a wake-up call, too. Like, this team can win without it happening right in front of his face.
Yeah, definitely. And Chris Jones is going to get a deal done. I know you said that they're the Katz brothers and they, they're agents. Those guys work in sanitation and they clean up mess. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that they probably are related to Tony Soprano in a different light. But they need Kelsey. But I don't see why he's rushing back. Let Mahomes and Andy Reid get pissed off. Go 0-2, slow down, realize that you got 15 games after week 2, and then come back and be pissed. I'm more worried about the NFL if the Chiefs go 0-2, because then they might just go on a tear and be pissed off for the entire season. He knows that because it happened to the Patriots before. Trent Dilfer famously said the Patriots are dead, and then they went and won multiple more Super Bowls.
Everybody has said that the Patriots are dead. The good news is we get a chance to pick Eagles Patriots later today. And Tom Brady is having something special and unique happen for him.
That's right.
I don't know if that's going to slow down the Jalen Hurts Sirianni train. So maybe the Patriots are that Trent Dilfer was just about 3 decades early. Yeah. Now let's talk about why we're here in Tuscaloosa. I cannot believe they're shooting.
You see who's down here? Joe DiNardo.
Coronado is on a sign over here in Tuscaloosa. And I miss you, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
Shout out Joe DiNardo, get a little bit of love down here in Tuscaloosa. But as we were driving in this morning, I've been on the campus before they had a tornado. I did some help cleaning up some stuff, but it wasn't alive. It wasn't buzzing at the time. It was in the middle of the summer. As we were driving in, you got SEC Nation setting up over there. You got a Texas Longhorn Network over there. I think Barstow is setting up something over here. Literally, the eyes of college football are all on Tuscaloosa, Alabama this weekend. And I think the reason why is because Texas, which is obviously a massive name, they think they're back.
Yes, they do. Big time.
And those who are not Alabama fans think that there's a chance Alabama gets got this weekend.
That's right.
At home.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
At home. Everybody is excited about this game because if Alabama wins this, it'll be another conversation about Nick Saban building from the ground up, another quarterback, another group of weapons, another era of Nick Saban having this factory of greatness. Now, if they lose to Texas, they're Kirby Smart has taken over the entire SEC. Nick Saban doesn't have his fastball anymore. And then Texas is on their way to the SEC. So now Alabama has a new nightmare every single day. That is why everybody's here. And I want to say the buzz is palpable. Big time on this campus.
Yep.
And the Alabama fans are worried about a damn thing. They think this Alabama team is winning the national championship. No question. And we're going to be on the sidelines calling this tonight. We are so lucky to not only be on ESPN. We saw people yesterday watching us in gyms around the country. Somebody was watching us in Dunkin' Airlines. There was somebody in a cafe that was real uppity and studi. And guess who was in the background? Who's that? Old tank top guy. Right on a TV. So we are so incredibly lucky to be doing this. But also, to be in this environment, we need to make sure we remember how awesome it is. Oh, yeah. These kids are supposed to be a class. There's a couple of teachers, actually, that have canceled classes because numerous members of the class to our show. Shout out. We are the dumbest group in the show. Let's move on to some other conversation. Now, Joe Burrow has signed the largest deal. They're going bananas up there. We got a cameraman who's just up in the middle of it. And then they just realized, now they say we're talking, so we're going to shut up. Horns down on it.
Love it.
Horns down.
No penalty? It was?
Oh, yeah, that's 15 yards.
Yeah.
Players?
Is it 15 yards if a player does the horns down?
They were doing it after the game last year. Saban was pissed.
Right.
I mean, why does it get mad about that? It mocks it.
Why is it a penalty?
I don't know. It's sports. Sorry.
Let them celebrate.
Grow up. You know, that's the whole conversation. But let's talk about the NFL. Joey Burrow has signed the biggest contract in the history of the NFL. Joey Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals has been nothing short of phenomenal. Whenever he got a chance to start for LSU and they go on that magical run where he puts together the greatest college football season that college football has ever seen. Alabama people were watching Joe Burrow at LSU saying, that is what a quarterback looks like. I wanted him. Wins a national championship with like a broken rib or something in the middle of the game. Then there's conversations about this Ohio guy potentially turning down Cincinnati because his professional career doesn't need to get railroaded from an organization that hasn't been able to get to the top. Joe Burrow says that ain't true. I'm actually the man who wants to be the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. I'm the Ohio Bulk guy. Guy that is mentally tough enough to take on the challenge of being the Bengals quarterback where the entire state of Ohio is going to become the fan of this team if we have success. The environments at Cincinnati Bengals games have become a college atmosphere. The games, the games have become must-watch. The offense has become a top 3-1 in the NFL. And the Brown family started doing actual business. Now he's the richest guy in the history of the NFL. Well-deserved, well-earned, and I want to let him know we appreciate it. Although these people do not.
this is ridiculous. I mean, I'm jealous of LSU. I didn't realize Alabama was still kind of sad about it. But, I mean, what the Bengals are set now in this resets the market for quarterbacks with Mahomes. Did you see what they said about the timing of the deal as well? That it was strategic right before the Chiefs game, as if that was going to affect Kansas City because of the budding rivalry between the Bengals.
There's a chance right before kickoff there, Patrick Mahomes opens his phone and calls his wife.
Oh, okay.
Hey, babe, how you doing? Hope you're okay. How are the kids? How are the corn dogs up in this suite? Get that champagne ready to spray all over the fans underneath you. We're about to have a big time band tonight. Then when he did that, he got an update on his phone, notification. Clicks on it. It's from Shefty's face. Boom. Joey Burrow is now making $55 million a year.
Oh, my God.
Patrick Mahomes thinks to himself, I'll love it.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
Lower than Joey Burrow. About me. I've won two. What is he? Yeah, maybe he should go out with an axe to grind against the Kansas City Chiefs because he learned about what Joey Burrow's doing. But I do think this does open up a combo. When does Patrick Mahomes go back and they restructure this thing to pay him? Everybody seems to think it's inevitable. He's always put it off. But when you're starting to get these big numbers for numerous quarterbacks, that he's definitely outperformed those guys. At some point, somebody's going to tell him he should go get his.
There was some, I can't remember who we had on earlier this summer, but one of us asked what are the order of quarterbacks in Vegas this summer, and it was always going to be Herbert, it was going to be Burrow, and then at some point Patrick Mahomes is going to come back and get his. I don't know if Chiefs do deals during the season, but at some point they're going to make it. If he wants to, though, if Patrick Mahomes wants to, he's playing under his value right now. His contract is, he obviously could get more money. Travis Kelce, same thing. That's why getting Chris Jones signed, I think, giving him an extension is a little tougher. These two guys are taking below market value.
Hey, which is awesome, isn't it? That's admirable.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's how you build a team. But if Patrick Mahomes wanted to, he'd come back to the team and try to make a stitch, whatever you want to call it, and try to get, hey, I want to get Joe Burrow's, what, 53, 54 a year? I want 56, 57. He's going to continue to grow.
So there's people out there that probably don't understand. There's others that do, so I'm not acting like groundbreaking information. But it's actually not as easy to take a smaller deal. It sounds absurd. And the reason why NFLPA is a star player takes less money than what he could go get. They're on him and his agent's ass about the precedent that they're setting for the next generation of quarterbacks and players. Like the weight of the world is placed on some of these guys' shoulders as they're negotiating contracts. Hey, you got to do it for the next class. You got to do it for the next quarterback. You got to reset the bar. So anytime you hear somebody step up and say, hey, you know what? I'll take less. The amount of conversations that they've had to cipher through is very admirable and should be talked about. And Patrick Mahomes is certainly a guy who's going to remain steadfast about that. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Because if that number comes down, maybe that running back market isn't as, whoa, I don't want to point out the roll tide elephant in the room. But, maybe that quarterback one doesn't get as absurd. Maybe there's other money to spread on other parts. And that's what Patrick Mahomes has said. Build a team that I want to win. Will he remain that way? And it's going to get tough to do.
Well, especially when you talk about the hometown discounts. And then when we first heard of Patrick Mahomes' initial deal, when it was reported 10 years, $500 million, and then a year or 2 years later, we heard what the actual number was, and it's like, okay, well, that's not anywhere close to what they reported. So he has been severely underpaid for the last several years. How long can you go when you've won multiple Super Bowls and MVPs and just be like, okay, I'll be the good guy, I'll take the hometown discount?
Watching quarterback seems like forever.
Oh, I mean,
it feels like Patrick Mahomes is the guy to do it.
And contract structure. They might give him 10 years, $1 billion, and push him out already to the last 4 years where they're at right now. Yeah. I mean, he's trying to set his deal, isn't he? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. NFL will let them not happen very often. There's law. Super Bowl champion players are very team friendly. So if he wants to, he'll come back. They're being really creative with the sign. Yeah. Out there, that's one of those pop up. That's very that's concerning too. That's something that we should check in on that. Well, that's not good. I don't know what the referee is.
He started his beautiful story. Decisions that they made in the past, and I really appreciate that he's been able to do it because we were on a call the other week, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but and he knows everything.
Yeah.
always. He's just a Rolodex of information. That's why on game day, when I'm sitting in this chair and he's in this chair, anything I say, like there's a landing zone right next to it that's been doing this for 20 years. I'm saying, you go and actually look at Texas records from like 19 whatever to now. Matt Brown had a run, but other than that, Texas is like a fiction of a, he didn't say this, it's what he was pointing at and alluding to, but I was kind of alluding like, it's a figment of your imagination that they are a great football team. And then now with Quinn Ewers returning and the depth of the Lions team and all of this, that starts to be able to make them good.
Since 2009, it's the first time they were favored to win the Big 12. And we went back and looked at the records. They're barely over 500, I guess, the last 10 years. And then they kind of become a mockery on the internet when Texas was back. And like that's what starts and then plus is trying to overcome.
Sam out here, this guy, the guy joining us now is the guy who was a general manager in the NFL, he was a coaching consultant in the NFL. He's an author, a speaker, a guy who has a newsletter, a texter, a negotiator, a time zone, and a man that will be joining us every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi.
Looks like college life is good for you guys.
You know, I didn't bode well in like the academia part of college, as everybody knows. I did get passing grades and all that, but the college atmosphere that we get to feel is so real. You know, it's like you don't get this anywhere else where they have zero responsibility.
Right.
Smoking cigarettes. Like, we got a pass class here. All right, let's see why they're going to do stuff. But
Essentially the same play again. Continue to move the ball on the ground. If you decide to throw the ball now, because usually
these kids have no responsibility, so what? It's awesome to witness and experience them and remember those days where no bills, no taxes, no nothing, nobody to answer to really. It's beautiful out there now. Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. My niece goes to school there. When you find out what the tab is to get into the bars on college weekend, it's like $50 cover charge. You gotta go. Yeah, no, I'm serious. My niece goes to school there. I get all the stories on that Tuscaloosa. You go to those Tuscaloosa bars, you better come heavy or don't come at all because they're going to charge you a tax to get in. Everybody wants to.
Well, it's supply and demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Man is on.
Whatever it is, it is.
All right, Rumbo, let's dive into it. We appreciate you joining us, and shout out to your niece also good score here. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. That's good pass. That's good play. I love that. Let's talk about last night. Dan Campbell and Brad were able to flip that culture to a seamless so quick. Second half of the season last year, they outscored everybody in the NFL in points per game. We saw a little bit of it last night with Jared Goff outperforming Patrick Mahomes. Now, no Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce. Do we think Gino just came
touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
so we're at commercial for the last 3 minutes. What? 10? We're talking to nobody but this crowd. Hey,
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not on. Here comes the onside kick.
What the hell is that?
That should just about wrap this one up.
give them the horns down, Holly. Welcome back to the show. Got to cover the game. He's obviously a non-biased journalist. It's going to be popular. They hot Green Bay Packers jersey out there. We're back. Okay, great to be here. Michael Lombardi's joining us. So let me go through everything I just said. Okay, it was a lot, but nobody heard it but the beautiful people here in Tuscaloosa, Kansas. So last night, what the Detroit Lions were able to accomplish doesn't seem like a miracle in a lot of people's eyes at this stage because the Detroit Lions have been able to put their culture completely behind the scenes. Last half of the season last year, the Detroit Lions outscored everybody in the NFL. 29.7 points per game. That's number 1 in the league. Last night, Jared Goff outperformed Patrick Mahomes, who had some drops. Is this what we should expect from the Motor City Dan Campbell Lions every single week? And how do you think they went about doing it so quickly up there?
Well, I think we're good. last night, I don't think they played their A game until the fourth quarter. They were 5 for 15 on third downs, and they got 3 of those third downs converted in the fourth quarter. They had 20 plays in the fourth quarter, and they gained over 100 yards, and that's where they won the game. I think their resilience, their toughness is modeled after their head coach, and if you're a Lions fan, you can honestly walk off that field and say, you know, this wasn't our best game. We only scored 14 points offensively against the Chiefs team without Chris Jones. But there's so much more meat on that bone, and we can keep going, and we can continue to go. We did not see as much as Gibbs as we thought we were going to see. So, look, for me, they're a formidable. You go into Kansas City, you win, and I know Kansas City didn't have Kelsey, they didn't have Jones, and Tony and Sky Moore, both players were supposed to be really to pick up the slack. They had 8 targets and 1 catch for 1 yard, so they were there. But I think the choice got out. I think the choice got out to the
big overrated block from Bears here in Alabama.
Oh,
as soon as you mentioned that Tony name, you know, the Florida thing, I think they're talking about him against Tyreek Hill. He had great impact for them last year whenever he was on the team. Super Bowl makes a big play. I assume he's going to bounce back. Me personally. I think Tony will bounce back. Needed this embarrassment. Deleted his ex. Will do his thing. Travis Kelce, though, obviously the key point of the offense. We hope he's back in 10 days with bone bruise, but who knows? On the other side, Chris Jones up in the suite watching with his agent. That felt weird to me. I don't know why. How did you do it? And you think that maybe was a time where Pete and Chris Jones and his agent, the Katz brothers, were able to sit down and shake their hands?
I think the Bosa deal makes it even harder because of Chris Jones. Because you guys alluded to it, and AJ talked about it too, about what do you do with Mahomes? He's significantly underpaid. But what do you do with Kelce? Kelce makes $14 million a year. He's not even close to the top receivers in the league, and he's a receiver. So how do you get this? And we haven't seen the Bosa contract, but we know it's over $31 million per year. We know that. That'll be proven once we see it. What do you do with Jones, and how do you ignore Kelce and Mahomes? I think that's the delicate situation.
I think it's 34, Longo. 34.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen it. That's what they're putting out there, but it might be 34. Until it comes through the PA and through the NFL system and how it's spread and what it's guaranteed, everything's always different. But look, let's face it, Chris Jones deserves to get a raise. I agree. I think what was good about last night, Pat, is we're talking business. It's like The Godfather. It's just impersonal. Our disagreements are business related. Jones wants a raise. The Chiefs need to give him a raise, but they're in a tough spot because they got Mahomes and they also got Kelce. I mean, Kelce had $14 million. I mean, he's not even the highest paid tight end. He should be the highest paid receiver because that's what he plays. And I think last night proved more than anything, they miss Kelce even more than Jones.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, and we have a lot of respect for Shannon Sharp. Wow, I have a lot of respect for Shannon Sharp. I just can't wait to live with him someday and do the Tuesdays on First Take with him. He's a big fan. He put a tweet out about Stone Cold Jones' value going up from last night. I saw it differently.
Me too.
Okay, all right. I won't be a hater either. But it's
I mean, he's a great player, but they held a Detroit line offense, which is really good, to 14 points. Credit Steve Spagnuolo and those guys. If you would have told Andy Reid before the game, we're holding Detroit to 14 points, he says, check, we'll win this game easy. And they lost 21-20. Now, I thought the fourth quarter got rather interesting. Some of the decision-making in the fourth. When Andy Reid kicked that field goal, and I'm a big field goal kick guy, but he's up 17-14. 6 points in the fourth. Going up 6 in the fourth quarter, to me, is like, doesn't do you a lot of good. You got to get that touchdown there because being up 6, you're always on the seesaw. It's like checking into the presidential suite of a hotel at 10 o'clock at night. You got to check out at 7 in the morning. You can't enjoy it.
What's the purpose? It's begged to be in any room. I agree.
Yeah.
I've done that one time. It's so bad, so expensive. Should have just slept on a couch. I appreciate the way you view things, Rombo, because when you break it down, it makes me feel like, oh, that's how. Do you think how all general managers think? Do you think, is that why you have had success? And how do you think Veach handles this? Ultimately,
I think that's Veach's problem. He wants to pay Jones. He knows Jones. Look, the tape doesn't lie. And I said this before on the show. I say it on my show, the Lombardi Line. I say it on all the time. You can't overpay great players. You can't overpay great players. Like Chris Jones is a great player. You can't. What you get in trouble with is when you overpay a good player. When you overpay somebody and extend, well, we've got to have that guy. Oh, if we don't have it, we're going to lose. Chris Jones, you can't. Bosa's contract, you can't overpay Bosa.
Boss is worth every nickel of the deal. He changes the game. As Al Davis used to say all the time, he tilts the field. Guys that tilt the field, you got no problem playing. You got no problem playing Joe Burrow. We talked about this on Tuesday. We knew Mike Brown. And Mike Brown is accused of being stingy and cheap. He was going to pay Burrow. There was never a doubt about that. I thought it was ironic he did it on his father's birthday.
You think that's on purpose, right?
I think so. I really do. Mike Brown's a historian of the game. He understands it, and I think his father, I wrote about him, his father didn't get enough credit for his impact on the game. I think he did it on his dad's birthday.
I wonder if, like, Joey Burrow's time is like, we're done here, right? Brown's like, hold on. A week and a half. So, yeah, we need to change this wording over here. Okay, dad's birthday. Yep, deal. We're good? Shake hands. Go ahead and announce this thing. Joey's handled this perfectly, I think, the entire time as well. I assume he was kind of being informed where the number potentially was. And he's like, oh, okay, it's Ohio, we're in a good spot. And congrats to him, he's earned it. And congrats to the Bengals doing business to find the money to pay Joey Burrow, because they're going to have to do it again to Jamar Chase. They're going to have to do it again and again to keep it going. But I think they're in the right spot. AJ's got a question for you, Lombo.
Yeah, Lombo, speaking of tilting the field, Aiden Hutchinson and that Detroit Lions defense last night obviously played very well in prime time. What do you think of them moving forward to see this to be a consistent thing for the defense this year?
You know, I think they're gotten better on defense. Those guys inside have really improved. They're physical. They're tough. I mean, look, they moved Hutchinson inside over that tree technique because I don't know what game those referees were watching, but Taylor lined up in the backfield. I mean, I've never seen a guy line up in the backfield like that, right? And he could have been called for, and they kept penetrating the A-gaps. I mean, Mahomes got pressured more than you think, and when they kept Mahomes in the pocket, that's when they really excelled. The good part for Detroit is their secondary held up. I mean, look, the Chiefs receivers are not great, but their secondary held up. I think that defense, if they can just be middle of the pack, right, and win situations like they did on third down in the game, they're going to be okay.
Tony, although a lot of people are saying this is the game of the weekend, obviously Bosa just got made, TJ Watt's been made, they got quarterbacks who are on smaller contracts. What do you think of the Niners and Steelers game this weekend?
You know, I've been on the Steelers now. This whole notion about the Steelers preseason is a joke, right? The Steelers have been good since they lost to Cincinnati last year, 37-30. They stubbed their toe against Baltimore because Pickett got hurt and Trubisky came in through red zone turnovers. But I think Pittsburgh are ready to go. I think they're physical. I think the challenge is going to be how they handle the positionless offense of the 49ers. Because that's the challenge, right? That's new football. Guys, McCaffrey's a receiver, no, he's a running back. Debo's a receiver, no, he's a running back. And I think how do you match with that? It's going to be interesting. I think it'll be a great game. I've always liked the Steelers and the points. I think a lot of people have taken it. The line keeps moving towards down. And anytime you get a home team with points, I think you got to take it.
Okay, so I just saw a stat the other day from Hembo on Get Up. Pickett to Pickens had the highest QBR of any quarterback wide receiver pairing of all of the 2022 season. I think it's like 97 or 6, something like that. If my brain is still dialed in. We're assuming that Pickens is going to be a guy this year, right? He's about to be top 5 wide receiver in the NFL this year.
I think he's going to take it. I tell everybody in fantasy to jump. He's going to take a giant step up. Look, they're good. I mean, the problem with Pittsburgh's offense is it's not flashy. It's not sexy. Nobody,
that's kind of, this guy's problem. That's this guy's fault.
You know, I think they're effective. And Dan Moore, the left tackle, has played well this summer. And he's going to have to be, he's going to challenge Bosa. Can Bosa play 70 plays? I don't think that's realistic. I think that's going to be hard. But look, the 49ers are tough on defense, but the one thing we do know, last year they stubbed their toe in openers. They went to Detroit 2 years ago and gave up a bunch of points against Detroit. They usually come together later. I like Pittsburgh in the game, I really do.
Lumbo, another interesting line this weekend. The Bears, I think, over.
Look how cool you look.
Look how cool you look.
Whoa!
Easy. That was way over the line.
We're not going there.
But anyway, Bears Open, I think, is a 4.5 or 3.5 point favorite over the Packers, and a lot of people are betting the Packers over on the year. I know a couple of receivers are hurt, but why do you think the Bears are favorites this weekend when a lot of people are kind of, trending towards the Packers and their win total over this year?
Well, I think the home team certainly, everybody thinks home teams matter on opening day, and they really don't. I mean, against the spread, they're 39-30, they're 38-39-1. We see, it has not been a 10-win home team in 5 years. Last year was 8-8-1. And so I think a little bit of that, plus the Bears, everybody has a belief the Bears are better. And they can, you know, with Fields running the ball and with DJ Moore, they're going to be more explosive. But the Bears have got to prove they can block. Green Bay's front's really good. Green Bay can rush the passer. They're tough against the run. This will be a hard game for them. Green Bay played well last year. I mean, they held Detroit to 34 points in 2 games. This is one of those where the line keeps moving. I think it'll be a pick 'em before the game starts.
Okay, let's stay in the NFC North real quick. With what the Lions did last night, obviously we assume they have, in everybody's eyes, optically earned the favorite of the NFC North. Nobody's talking about the Vikings, huh? Nobody. The Vikings, they were so lucky last year with the football guys. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I tell everybody Kevin O'Connell's not allowed to go in any casino in Las Vegas because they'll make him go broke. He's so lucky. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's, you know, I mean, Kirk Cousins had eight fourth-quarter comebacks last year. Think about that. 8. Nobody was close to him in that category. Look, I think they'll get better with Brian Flores on defense. They're really good on offense. I think Madison's a good back. I don't think he's Dalvin Cook, but I don't think there's a big difference. Justin Jefferson is still a really good player for them. And Addison gives them another receiver. Look, I think they're going to be good. Now, you know, they got a tough game against Tampa Bay. Everybody thinks Tampa and the points is a good play here. I don't know how well Tampa will be offensively, but defensively, Tampa will be a tough team.
Last question for you, Lombo.
Obviously the Burrow contract just got done. We were talking about the possibility of what Mahomes might get. Is that going to happen soon? And then with Bosa getting done, is that going to help Stone Cold, Chris Jones, and the Cash brothers who are from the Jersey Boardwalk?
Yeah, I think it's going to make it harder because I think the whole conversation about the Bosa deal is, you know, they're going to say, Chris, you're a defensive tackle. Quentin Williams was done at $24 million. And he's going to say, yeah, but Aaron Donald's at 31 and I had as good a year as Aaron Donald. I need to get as much as Bosa. I think that created more conflict in the negotiation. I would think they'd get it done, but they're going to have to go to, if I were the GM of the Chiefs, I'm going to Kelsey and saying, look, man, I got to take care of you. I'm going to throw you some bones here. You need some more skin. You have been the most selfless player in the NFL. It's remarkable. And also, you got to do something at home. I mean, you're going to have to figure this out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to figure out. Yeah, that's it. But if it was announced that Chris Jones' deal takes place, and at the same time Travis Kelce gets a raise, 2 of your guys get a raise at the same time, that feels like that's good mojo for the football god. Yeah, sure. But that sets a precedent, right? That sets a precedent, and now that's like kind of how everything goes. That's why Jesus hesitant to do the deal, or why do you think it is that
I think in this new football, Pat, you got to do it. I think you can't take that approach that, well, we don't redo the deal until the end of the deal. Look, it's an ever-flowing market, and when you see a great player, and I mean, Beach drove home last night realizing, geez, we really need Kelsey. Oh, my God. Without Kelsey, we're just a pedestrian offense. And Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, he did not look like the Patrick Mahomes we know without that great receiver. You got to pay the guy. You got to pay him. I mean, look, $14 million for Kelsey? Are you kidding me? I mean, you got to pay him.
Hey, Lombo, bet of the weekend for you.
There we go. Bet of the weekend. You know, that's a great call. I love the Miami Dolphins, and here's why I like the Miami Dolphins. About it. I like the Miami Dolphins because if you go back to Vic Fangio, head coach of the Denver Broncos, he takes a team that's not playing very well into Dallas, and they're playing great. And he kicks the butt out of the Dallas Cowboys, and basically they score 2 meaningless touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I think he understands Kellen Moore's offense. I think he'll understand how to attack them. I think his defense will play really well, and I think McDaniel will run the football. I like Miami. I'm getting 3 points. I can't beat it. The other one I think is a sneaky play, and if the line is moving away from it, it was 5 in the Rams. People will say you're crazy, Lombardi. The Rams? Let me give you a little fact here. The Rams last year, they played John Wolford and they played Baker Mayfield against Seattle. In those 2 games, their defense turned over Seattle. Geno Smith, he only had 11 interceptions. They turned him over 5 times on interceptions in those 2 games. Plus, they had the combined total of the scores was 7 points.
it's usually a close game when they play, and I think Stafford will play well.
All right, Rams and Dolphins is who Lambo likes. We'll keep an eye on how your season starts. We appreciate you starting the season with us, brother. You got it, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Lombardi. There's stuff going on out here. Yeah, a lot of that conversation is taking place. I seen this ball, I saw that hoop, I can throw a couple out there. What we need to remind people is that at some point today, this guy, right here, A.J. Hawk, will be shooting 4 basketballs at that hoop right there. Hell yeah. There'll be 4 kids that will have their tuition up on the line. Woo. AJ, if he makes all 4 of them will pay the tuition for it. Wow. If he makes the first one, whoever's assigned to the first one, that's probably happening in the next hour or so. Nick Saban will join us at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock local. And I do believe these fans are going to go bananas for that. Speaking of going bananas, Matt Brown is not happy with the NCAA.
No, he's not.
And we're in Tuscaloosa because of the Alabama-Texas game that's taking place on Saturday evening here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is going to be an electrifying atmosphere. But the NCAA is in an interesting situation. The NCAA has less power than it's ever had in its entire being. Now, it used to be the heavy hand in every conversation. And remember, they would use the word that they made up, amateurism, as the reason for why common sense things couldn't happen for players and the NCAA divisions. So now that NIL is taking place, it kind of kicks them out, even though they're digging back into the files to find when NIL wasn't legal, did anybody do any NIL stuff, we will still punish them. With what they're doing in North Carolina, these fans are chanting it, free Tez Walker for a reason. This is the dumbest thing that the NCAA has maybe ever done. I'm not saying it's the worst thing they've ever done, but maybe it's the dumbest thing they've ever done. We have players that are playing in college football for as long as it would take to become a doctor. There's eight-year seniors taking place with red shirt, blue shirt, gray shirt, COVID year, transfer year, bounce year. Oh, I'm a doctor now. And I'm a senior on the football field. There's people moving from school to school from what Tez had to do at his first school, Central. They didn't even step foot on campus or play football. How is that counting as a football year? They didn't play football. So he takes it from there to Kent State. Does well. Kent State's entire coaching staff. Head coach says, you know what, I'm going to be an offensive coordinator somewhere else. You know, I'm a head coach here, but I want to be offensive coordinator in Colorado. The team that had 1 win last year. If I want to go be offensive coordinator, now it's prime. I understand that's a great opportunity. And he's coaching Shador. Shador's thrown for 500 yards. I understand the decision. But Tez doesn't know that. So Tez now transfers out there because his coaches are gone. He goes to North Carolina, a great program. Back closer to home. Has family members that are sick. And the NCAA says, well, you can't do that because you spent your loan transfer, you see, from that first school you went to Kent State. This would be your second transfer in undergrad. The rules clearly state it's like the rules don't matter. The rules have been changing for literally the last 4 years, end over end. Oh, you can actually have another year in school because of COVID. Was that a rule? Was that a rule at any point? No. How about the transfer post-grad? Well, you just have to sit out and make it good. Yeah, you can move however you want. It makes no sense that you're not letting this dude play. And it does feel like you're personally attacking him. And it's stupid. At some point, though, and Tone, you were listening to the Cover 3 pod this morning, and they basically said, like, does the NCAA have the power, or can he just go out and play? Like, what happens if him and Matt Brown say, who cares? Let's just go out and play. What's the NCAA going to do? What could they do? Can it take him off the field? Like, if he comes out to warm up, is someone going to come out and grab him? Could you imagine the NCAA security comes out? Oh, got a badge on. You're coming with me. You're not allowed on this football. Who the refs would have to put that in place? That would be who was there that could sanction them, that could come out there and you can't do it. Last week, Shane Beamer, head coach of South Carolina, they said, we don't care if the guy plays or whatever. Nope. It's like nobody cares. This is not making anybody happy. Makes no sense. Well, it's bullshit and the precedent of like, if this happens next year with another unbelievable player that might want to go and play at a different school, especially going from Kent State to North Carolina, like that's a big jump. So if he can really play well in North Carolina, probably changing the trajectory of his life and, you know, his family's lives. But also, if those people who represent the NCAA try and pull, you know, the wide receiver off that field, Matt Brown might fight. He might actually try. No, he might Myles Garrett, helmet in hand, like boom, both their heads. Oh, yeah. Mason Rudolph experience at one time. Mason didn't deserve that though. The rest would deserve that. Well, we don't know what he said. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of different discussions about what led to that
deserved it.
That was Nick Marotta.
Well, you mentioned it too. Like, it's not like he's just transferring around, bouncing from place to place. Like, they grant waivers for this kind of stuff all the time. It seems like if someone has, like, you know, a family member or someone close to them who is like sick and they need to move home and kind of help take care of them, they literally pick and choose who they want to kind of grant this kind of stuff to. And it's almost like they woke up one morning and was like, you know what? Let's just screw this kid's career up. Let's do that.
Yeah. Why? What's the purpose?
No idea.
What's the purpose? Nobody's happy about it. You're taking a great player out of the game, and you're looking like a bunch of power-hungry corporate.
Yeah, that's right.
And I understand that we're tough to take serious because I'm wearing sunglasses right now and a tank top. That guy's got a sick, hella big shirt on.
Roll Tide.